Hi. Why is it important to pay attention to your thoughts? Why is it important to pay attention to your environment? Why is it important to pay attention to what you're scrolling through or what you're watching on TV or the conversations that you're around? Why is any of this important? It's important because it creates your reality. And if you're not happy with your reality, then those things that I just mentioned would benefit you to be at the highest priority of attention. I know all those words sound weird. I'm Deb. I like to share my human experience. Hopefully, it helps you with your experiences. And yeah, let's awaken together because this sleeping society is, it's not fun. Join me on the fun side. Subscribe for more videos. Comment below. Let me know what you're liking. And let's dive into this a little bit more, right? Like, why is it important? Why are all those things important? Those things are what make up our personality as a whole. Why is anything important? The one thing about awakening is you will probably crash first. It's kind of like, imagine you being born and you're this whiteboard that everyone keeps adding on beliefs, adding on values, adding on shoulds, adding on to dos, adding on expectations, just adding, right? All this stuff on a whiteboard. And then you become an adult, 20 to 30s, whatever. But like, I feel like I'm really speaking to the 30-year-olds and the 40-year-olds, those people that, and I will say 30-year, like, age is different as generations go on, right? Like, what my grandmother was experiencing at 30 and 40 years old is completely different from what my mother was experiencing, and it's all completely different from what I'm experiencing, and it's going to be completely different for what my children experience. Like, you can see that pattern already. Maybe for the last thousands of centuries, for the most part, things had been pretty stable, right? Like, in the 1900s, 1800s, I mean, really, like, so much has happened in the last few hundreds of years compared to the last few thousands of centuries. And the idea of technological advancement and ability to communicate worldwide. And not even that, but energetically speaking of what happens on this planet, in this solar system, in this universe. Like, we're in the age of Aquarius now. The energies are going to be different. There's so much to this existence if we really dive into it. And talking about the universe makes me want to jump around into energies and sacred geometry and really the light and shadows and projections of what this earth really is. And that's all just so much, like, so much. So, back to all these things make up who we are and the experiences that we go through. And it's going to be more important as evolution continues to be more in touch with who you are as a soul. So important. There's this trend going around that I've been seeing, and it's parents, putting the phone on record with them and their child. And these children are usually under the age of 10, anywhere from age 5 to 10, maybe 13, 14. And these parents are using common phrases that were common during my generation and my parents' generation, and probably before that and before that. And it was, phrases like, I'll give you something, and they get the tone and then they stop and they let the kid finish the sentence. Like, I'll give you something to cry about, right? These children could not finish the sentences. Like, one of them, okay, so it was like, I'll give you something to and cry about. And like, children are meant to be seen, not heard, right? But just like, oh, I wish, my mind's going blank on them. But there's at least 5 or more really common toxic phrases that our parents used for us And these parents are showing that their children have no idea what these toxic phrases are because they've broken the cycle. And that's what it's about. Learning that we don't need to be watching violence on TV. Why do we need that in our auras, in our imagination? Our imagination is what creates our reality. So, back to that whiteboard, as we get older, all this external information is putting more information onto that whiteboard. And if we were to look at that whiteboard, step back, like that's basically the vision board of what our current energy is going to pull in. So before you can create a vision going forward, it's really nice to look at what you are creating while you're on default right now. What has already been placed on your whiteboard, right? And so that's what shadow work is. That's what the experience of awakening is. It's first off realizing that that board is separate from you, realizing that you can pop out of that board, right? Like say you were just this little cartoon character and someone is sitting there drawing this board, drawing this picture, and you're here and there's trauma here and lack of validation there and people putting you down here or physical abuse there, not being good enough here, and you're in the middle of it and you're just like, oh, I'm just in the middle of this cartoon, someone else is creating me, I don't know what's going on, I'm just going to follow life and follow these things people tell me to follow. And the awakening process is when you pop out of that whiteboard and you look back at it and you're like, who was drawing this? Who was making this cartoon? This isn't funny. This doesn't make me smile or laugh. Like you're just looking at all these things. And when you're awakening, then you grab this nice big eraser and go, phew, all gone. Except it's a little harder than that because instead of it being a whiteboard, every little picture that is on there has these little stickers and pins and needles sticking out from the whiteboard. So as you rub your eraser on it, it's going to catch your eraser. It's going to dig in and scrape through, and then it's going to leave marks and lines. So when you go to erase it, you'll have grooves of like some things being erased and some things staying there. And then you have to try and find another eraser to like it's going to be hard, but it doesn't need to be because it is just a whiteboard where you can just erase it. Those pins and needles that are sticking out that are going to cause damage to the eraser and make it hard for you to erase, that's all going to be on you. How much do you want it? How much do you want to just drop all the stuff that makes you feel so gross? How just drop everything and start fresh. And awakening will do that to you. Awakening is going to wipe that board clean and leave you empty and a blank slate, and you're going to freak out. You're going to question whatever purpose you've been chasing your whole life. You're going to question all the people around you. You're going to probably lose motivation for hobbies and passions that you had. And for many, they're going to notice that the hobbies and passions that they had because they were using them to prove themselves. A lot of our lives are built on seeking approval, on seeking outside validation. I mean, they always say it's not what you do that people see, it's what you do when people aren't looking that create your energy and your aura. And that's very true. Like there is, I think I just, I think in Egyptian, uh, back in the Egyptian day, something called Tho. Is that right? Where he's just in the background, keeping the checks and balances of what we're doing. Not whether it's good or bad, but just like whether we're in alignment with ourselves. So if you want to improve your life, definitely like each and every choice that you're making, ask if it's in alignment with the you that you see yourself in the future. And that's where reverse engineering your future comes in. When you're on, can you see yourself on your deathbed, having your last thoughts, looking back on your life? What kind of life do you want to be looking back on? And is the direction that you're headed in now, is it in alignment with that life that you desire? doing this work is so important because it takes everything off a default. It allows you to gain control, even though you don't have control, because like you're working with, we are God, right? Like God is working through us. And so there's, and we're also like most of our working consciousness is human. So we can't always know how things are going to work out. And we just have to believe. So even when we want to control, we still have to be happy and relinquishing control to the higher power and allow that higher power to work through us. But when it's not working through us, you'll feel that resistance. You'll feel like our shadows are blocking that light from coming in. It's like you have your security issues, your confidence issues, your worthiness issues, your being able to speak up for yourself issues, your issues of being able to even see a future. Can you visualize a future? Can you, you're like, there's so many issues. And the more you clear those out and pay attention to them, it's our shadows. We have to shine a light on them, because if we don't shine a light on those shadows literally are being projected. Like, say there's a light behind me right now and I have a shadow in front of me here. That shadow is in front of me. If I was walking forward, I would be walking into that shadow. And that's why we need to do the shadow work, so that we can stop walking into our shadow. We want to clear out the gunk so the light can just come straight through us like a crystalline, right? We're evolving from 3D density into a more crystalline light body. And I know that sounds weird. And maybe it's just my reality because that's what I'm absorbing information wise, but I can feel it. Things that feel dense and heavy are leaving my life. The need for dense and heavy food is leaving my life. The need to hustle is leaving my life. And I've thought that I've had to hustle my whole life. And I thought that I wasn't worthy of anything unless I was hustling. And you know what? This last 2 years, I have had the most rest I've ever had. And it's amazing and beautiful. And yes, there was a lot of sorrow within it, but it brought me to the void. It allowed me to work on my shadows. And now it's brought me to the void, and I have a clean slate. I can build what I visualize. I can use my imagination. Our imagination is the light that is projecting through. And if you have those shadows blocking the imagination of the life that you want, you're going to have a little more difficult time allowing it into your life. Awakening is about allowing and also investigating. Investigate what your motivation is. Investigate why you do things. Investigate. Document. And the resources are available. If you're listening to this video, I applaud you for using resources available to you to level up. I would not be the person that I am today without YouTube videos, without people putting themselves out there. Yes, there's podcasts and there's books, and we've been there, but like YouTube videos of real people, or things I can just listen to in the background or while I'm driving, I don't actually have to watch. Those things have been huge in my life to get me to where I am. And I'm happy to be able to return that and share the things that I've learned, or share my thoughts and viewpoints on life. I'm sure there's at least one person out there that is going to get something from this video. Maybe not as soon as I post it, maybe not within a week, but these videos are on here for years at a time. And I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to help at least one person, because I'm a person and it's already helping me. I love to be able to express and share how I got here, because it's been such a journey of waiting to believe. This journey of wholeness that I feel the point I'm at right now, this journey was meant for me back in 2016, but I wasn't ready. There was too much shadow. I felt so ready. My vibration was the highest it's ever been. I was meditating every day. I was doing all the self-care routines. I was keeping my energy just tip top. I wasn't eating anything animal. I was vegan and mostly like whole food vegan. So I was just doing so much self-care to my body and my mind with all the meditations and all these things. And like I but I wasn't ready. That belief wasn't there. The belief in the imagination of what I was going after wasn't there. So the last 8 years have been like an amazing journey of me releasing those shadows, really understanding what shadow work is. Because before in 2016, I thought that I had done work and I thought that I had leveled up. But in reality, the work that I had done to that point was the the becoming of the awareness, right? Like that was really the start of the awakening that was bringing the awareness for me to do the work to wipe my slate clean. 2016, when I thought I was like, yes, I'm good to go. We're creating this business. We're making a difference in the world. We're showing our fiance that we don't need to work a normal job or hustle to prove our worth. And that was just the start of the awakening. That was me popping out of the whiteboard and looking back and being like, whoa. I mean, I was popping out of the whiteboard before that. That was probably 2011. But 2016 was when I really started realizing that there's shadows and my light couldn't come through because of all these shadows. So, steps to creating the life that you want is wipe your whiteboard clean. Remove outside influences that are subconsciously making your choices for you. Reflect back on your life. Take a look at that whiteboard. See what you need to erase. And if things happen to hurt in the meantime while you're erasing that whiteboard, just know that once it's all clean, you can rebuild. I don't know if you've ever like sometimes I don't know if you've ever moved into a rental or a house that you've had to renovate and there's like something that's really gross that you have to scrub at, like a stove or something that's just like, wow, they didn't even try to clean this. And you just kept scrubbing and scrubbing. And yes, it's exhausting. And yes, you feel like maybe it's never going to happen. And sometimes you just need to soak it in a lot of chemicals. But like you keep trying until it's clean. And you keep trying because you know that you're going to clean it, right? You keep that faith. You know that you will have progress if you just keep trying. So that's what you got to do. And then use your imagination to create your life. It's not the steps in this material world that create your life. It's not the steps of going to college and getting a degree that's going to create your life. Now, getting the steps to learn a skill or something that is going to help you make impact and add value to the world, yes, that's definitely great. But it's not about the steps. It's about the imagination of the light that you can bring into your body and have come through you and project out. That's how our reality is created. It is projected out and through us. And if you have shadows going on, you're going to see those shadows projected out. The more you work and clear out those shadows, the more the beauty of wholeness of your vision can shine through. And that's the purpose. I feel like Earth is such an energetic basis reality that the more you learn about energy, the more you learn about how light works, the more this place makes sense. But first, you got to go crazy before it makes sense because most people are too conditioned to even envision that any of this is true. So if you're still here and you're still listening to this, like this is for you. You are ready. You are ready to take on those shadows. You are ready to dissolve and integrate, to dissolve control of the ego and integrate the ego. Because once you become that clean slate, man, it's going to piss the ego off. And that's the void. That clean slate is the void, and the ego hates it. And so you just sit in it. You embrace the pause. You embrace the void. You embrace the rearranging. You embrace it all. And you keep faith that your vision is going to happen just for the fact that the vision is going to happen. It doesn't matter what pops up in your external circumstances that you think is going to deter you or set you off track. It's all about maintaining faith. Knowing God has your back, knowing God wants you to have that vision, knowing that you are a God here to create a vision. How many times have you thought in your life, you're like, man, there's so much I need to get done. I just need to make a clone of myself, right? Like that's what we are. That's what God did. God was just having such a fun time in life that he's like, you know what? I just need to delegate some of these experiences out. I'm going to clone myself and see how many experiences I can have. And that's what we are. That's what it feels like anyways. There's many theories as to what we are. And the way they all intertwine, they all make sense without making sense, if that makes sense. So thank you. Just thank you. Thank yourself for being here, for believing that there's something more, for spending your time on YouTube trying to find answers, trying to find information, trying to find things that resonate to allow you the confidence that you need to step into this journey. You're worth it. You're here for it. It's not even that you're worth it. Like you are literally here to do this. Your purpose is to dive into shadow work. Your purpose is to learn how to shine all of your light through your vessel. That's what we're here for. To learn how energy works. Like, what if school is our college? Like, our next job that we want, we need to learn how energy works. We need to learn how light works. We need to learn how emotion works. We need to learn how the unseen works. We need to learn how faith works. We need to learn how we need to learn, and that's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. But there's like so many distractions, you know? I feel like the people that kind of created the matrix, you know, the 9 to 5, like all that it's great and it served the purpose, but it's falling apart because people are realizing we don't need it. Once enough of us create a world where we have our own resources and our own financial empires, like more people with good hearts are coming into money. And that's going to be the change of the world. People just don't believe that good things can be done with money. People believe that if someone has more money, they're just going to hold on to it for themselves. And then they fear that might be about them too. But no, like there are a lot of people with good hearts and good intentions that understand what's happening. And more of us are coming into money. And what we're doing with the money is changing lives and building new worlds and showing people another way. And you're part of it. You're here to awaken. You're like, I feel like Earth got so sidetracked on what our purpose is, that it's making it even harder right now, right? And maybe our purpose on earth hasn't been to dive into our shadows. I mean, when you think for thousands of years, hundreds of years, like what were people doing? If their purpose was to dive into their shadow, like they were really just creating more shadows. And maybe that's it. Maybe all those wars and things were to create the shadows so that then we can then recognize the shadows to then be able to integrate the shadows. Like whatever's happening right now could only happen right now. This awakening couldn't have happened 100 years ago, 200 years ago. The energies weren't there for it yet. The experiences weren't there yet. Just like how a lot of people, like as a human, your experience of being able to go out and drive and have freedom and go watch a sunset on a mountaintop, you're not going to be able to have that experience when you're 5 years old because you can't drive yet. So now, as humanity, we're learning how to drive and we get to choose where we are going. So clear out that gunk, allow your light to shine through, and create the reality you want with your imagination. That's all there is to it. It's simple. I'm going to go ahead and end this here on the note of it's simple to imagine and create. My name's Deb. Here on Awaken with Deb, we'd like to explore all the things about being a human, navigating the shadow sides, navigating our inner workings, working towards confidence, releasing anxiety, understanding depression, being our best selves. So I'm Deb, sharing my human experience, hoping to help you gain confidence in your human experience. Comment below if any of this helped you or resonated. Let me know. Definitely click subscribe so that whatever message is ready to land for you will pop up in your feed that day. I don't expect anyone to watch all my videos, but I have used YouTube as an excellent tool that when I'm struggling with something, YouTube has the ability to be magical and show you the videos that you need to hear. And if you're subscribed, you're going to be more likely to catch the messages that are meant for you. So, have a wonderful, blessed day. Cheers.